What you are looking at right now is Tropical Storm Melissa, who just took a turn for the worst. Yes, you have heard me correctly. Tropical Storm Melissa has taken a turn for the worst. So, what this means is that we are going to potentially be seeing torrential rainfall out of Melissa, and we really just need to be watching this closely, as this now actually does bring the chance for a threat to the United States. Although low at the time, this could definitely ramp up. And here's just a look, like I said at the beginning of the video, this is a look of our tropical storm currently, Melissa, and it is definitely getting more intense, to say the least. This is a look at infrared. You can tell we are seeing very, very tall cloud tops across a very large area now. So there are a few things in this video that are actually going to have good news too. Just sit tight for a few minutes to see what those good news things are. And here's the latest cone from the National Hurricane Center. You can tell we still actually do have, for over here in like Haiti, we do still have hurricane watches, although they are outside the cone. And we have tropical storm watches, even though Jamaica is in the major hurricane cone. And yes, you heard me right, major hurricane. It is likely now, the NHC is even seeing it, potential for a Category 4. And honestly, if this thing stalls out in this area or even gets a bit further into like this area, I say Category 5. It's likely. But right now we do only have some tropical storm watches over here in Jamaica. But I definitely see these potentially getting upgraded to hurricane warnings. Now here's a look at what Melissa could track. And this is the GFS model. You can tell it brings it pretty close to Haiti and Jamaica. Actually, as it going through, looks like Haiti, and eventually moving off to the northeast, not coming anywhere near the United States. And let's actually take a look at the European model, what the Euro is showing. And it is showing a track towards Jamaica stalling, bringing torrential rainfall to Jamaica, moving past Jamaica, becoming a pretty strong hurricane, and kind of just stalling over Jamaica. So we definitely need to be keeping a close eye on that. Here is a look at the spaghetti models, the latest spaghetti models that we have. And this has kind of been an interesting trend. I do want to stop it here. So what this is essentially showing is all of our different models. And this is pretty much just one look at all of them. And you can tell most of them actually have them staying a bit here to the west now, instead of taking the sharp turn to the northeast like we were initially seeing. And the NHC is on board with that, taking their cone out to about this area now. And so we're definitely going to have to watch this closely as we bring these out farther. That westerly track is definitely looking more likely, though. As we get towards the end of this week, I do have to say, we do get a lot more uncertainty on where this is going to track. It is a lot more scattered where this has potential to track. Obviously, it can track everywhere. You can tell here, once we get past Jamaica, really, it kind of just becomes this jumbled mess across a very large area. And you can see even here, clipping right around the Florida Keys, southern Florida. And this shift to the west has actually been quite interesting. And it seems like every model run we get just a bit further to the west. And that is definitely something that cannot go without being noted. Here's a look at the intensity graphics, or the intensity guidance. And you can tell here, we do have a few models bringing it up to Cat 5 intensity. But right now, I should say, for now we have a few. I would expect multiple more of these models to start to shoot it up here to Category 5 intensity. But as of now, only those two models. And we do have multiple models between 1 to 3 and even between 1 to 4. So definitely keeping a very close eye on this. Here's a look at how much rain Melissa could drop. And this is a lot of rain. This is between 30 inches, 20 to 30 inches in this. Here in Jamaica, we're only looking right now at a widespread 5 to 7. But if this were to continue to shift to the west, we could definitely see this over like Haiti go over Jamaica. So what this is saying is anywhere in really this area could see a widespread 10 to 15 inches with up to 20 to 30 possible. So just make sure you have multiple ways to receive alerts. In case you are watching from these areas, this is around 700 to 800 millimeters of rain. So just definitely a intense system, to say the least. And here are my landfall chances. All areas are subject to change. I have shifted this pretty much way to the south, and really southern Florida is the really area at risk now. Now, I could definitely shift this further to the north if we do continue to get that shift to the west with Melissa. As of now, I have actually decided to maintain a moderate risk down here in extreme far southern Florida, then a low chance all the way up from about Tampa. So we're definitely going to have to keep an eye on this, but that moderate chance, it's a bit of a lower end moderate chance, so just make sure you guys are staying tuned for more updates. Here are your hurricane threats yet again. If you've been watching the other videos, you've seen this a lot, but we just have to take this as a reminder. Tornadoes can be strong, winds can exceed 175 miles an hour, storm surge can be greater than 20 feet. Your hurricane action plan, 5 to 7 days out, monitor forecast, tell family and friends, know what to do in case of a real threat, confirm you have a reliable source. 1 to 4 days out, make sure you're still monitoring the forecast, make sure family know, go over your plan and make sure to grab essentials, check with your reliable source. The day of, have multiple ways to receive alerts. Check hourly for updates from your source. Do not leave. If you were told to evacuate, it is too late on the day of. And confirm with everyone you know what to do if and when a warning comes through. Now for the good news of this video. Well, somewhat good news. We're getting to it. Today, general thunderstorm risk for now. I mean, it's not going to change. We're not going to get an upgrade tonight, any marginal risk, just some general thunderstorms. But tomorrow we do actually see the return of severe weather. We do, as of now, a pretty large marginal risk. Although the SPC has noted we could get a upgrade to a slight risk in this area. If I was guessing, it'd probably be back here in portions of southwestern Oklahoma, and then parts of the Texas Panhandle into a bit of west central Texas. And tomorrow we actually do have a isolated 2% tornado risk. And honestly, we may actually go live on this channel tomorrow. So make sure you have multiple ways to receive alerts, and make sure you have notifications turned on for my channel, so you get notified if and when we do go live. 5% wind, and we do see 2 separate 5% hail risks for tomorrow. One back here in New Mexico and Colorado, as you can tell. Another one back here in Texas and Oklahoma. And you can tell this is kind of the corridor that we don't have that risk. So just watching it closely, but nothing we can really do about that. SPC's at the hands of that. But I would not be surprised if that 5% did get added for the rest of our marginal risk. Moving on to Friday, we do have a slight risk of severe weather. This is a day 3 slight risk. Keep that in mind. And honestly, I would not be surprised if this got expanded across this area. And we maybe even got an enhanced risk somewhere in here. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen yet. It definitely could happen, but I'm not saying that it's going to. Large marginal risk surrounding that, and like I said, slight risk in the middle of it. This does look more of a wind and hail risk, although tornadoes are still going to be possible. Now, moving on to what we can expect tomorrow, I do not know if 0ZH is going to go out far enough, and it is not. So we're going to actually have to go back to 18Z. Here we are on 18ZH. And tomorrow, this is what we can expect. we're going to see some storms go up over here in portions of Oklahoma, and then we are going to have storms back here in western Texas, pushing their way east and northeast. So we're going to have to be watching those. We're going to see some redevelopment as those first storms push through tomorrow and here in northern Oklahoma. And then we're going to see a bit of a clustery, messy setup back here in western Oklahoma and northern Texas. And honestly, I would not be surprised if our marginal risk got pushed to about this area in Oklahoma. But I think our tornado risk should stay confined to this general area. As we move forward, you can tell we're going to see a few more storms go up near Norman, some back here in western Texas. But overall, pretty messy storm mode tomorrow. And here's where we get to the good news. And first we had to get through the bad news, and finally we're getting closer to the good news. Here's our system for Thursday and Friday, little shortwave trough. But now we get to the good news. Monday, everything like everyone had their eyes on, potentially mega negatively tilted trough, potential for a huge severe weather outbreak across like that whole area. This is the good news. Trough is slowed down. It is not appearing to be negatively tilted anymore. And you can tell it's slowed down some. And our system, it's just not really there now. And it does look like it is going to potentially come back by next Thursday. And this probably would just promote some isolated severe weather across a decently large area. But it is not going to be as significant as we first thought. But although our jet stream is going to be very uncertain as we head throughout the rest of October into the start of November. And here's a look at our system. Here we are into Friday. You can tell back here in Texas, we actually do get a bit of a more organized system back here where our slight risk is. You can tell it is pretty clustered together, which is leading to more of that damaging wind and hail threat. But our marginal risk definitely could get shifted up here into Oklahoma, as it does look like we are going to be having some isolated severe weather on Friday into Saturday. And then just looks like storms are going to continue for a few hours before they push out. Then as we head into next week, here's a look at that system. You can tell very messy. We definitely could still get some isolated severe weather across this area, but that would just be some brief damaging winds, maybe a few instances of large hail. So we're just going to watch it closely. But high pressure actually does look like it's going to dominate as we head throughout the last week of October into the first week of November. Before that gets scooted off and things become a lot more uncertain. And it does look like we have a potential another tropical system brewing. Well, this is about 2 weeks out, so yeah, the signal is there, but definitely just need to take it with a grain of salt. And as we head back to bad news, flooding is going to be possible across a very large area over the next couple of days. We do have a marginal risk of excessive rainfall tomorrow, as you can tell, in portions of Oklahoma and Texas. As we move to the day 3, we do have a very large slight risk of excessive rainfall and a very large marginal risk. We also have a marginal risk back up here in the Pacific Northwest due to a atmospheric river system that is going to be occurring. And on the day 4 outlook, we have another slight risk back here, and this is more into Dixie Alley and the Southern Plains. This is Louisiana and Texas in that. Then still we have our marginal risk still in play back there in the Pacific Northwest. Day 5, we do have a marginal risk of severe weather, or of excessive rainfall, I should say, not severe weather, although flooding is severe weather in case you guys did not know. Here's a look over the next 7 days, the amount of total rainfall you can tell up here in the Pacific Northwest. Quite a bit of rain, widespread 3 to 6 inches with isolated 8 to 10 being possible. Back here in the plains, pretty much that same story. Plains into the Midwest in Dixie Alley. Isolated 3 to 6 inches looks likely. Or I should say more widespread 3 to 6 inches looks likely. With a bit more isolated potential for 8 to 10 inches possible. So we're definitely going to have to be watching this. And like I said, there's the chance that we do go live tomorrow for severe weather along with Friday. So just make sure you have multiple ways to receive alerts for severe weather, and you have notifications turned on for this channel to be notified if and when we do go live. Last thing before I ended off this video, I just wanted to point out how close we are to 1,200 subscribers. I can't thank you guys enough, and I do think we'll hit it tonight, but thank you guys, like I said, for 1,200 subscribers almost. And just want to let you guys know, in case you guys haven't seen the other videos, WWWFC is open, Weston's Weatherwise Forecast Center. Very cool home screen. We do have a radar and confidence outlook that I do the confidence outlook. Didn't do it today as we really did not have any severe weather. But tomorrow I will have a confidence outlook out in the morning, afternoon, and overnight. And then same thing for Friday. And as long as severe weather continues, we will still be having those. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you guys did enjoy today's video, make sure to drop a like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.